Alright folks, gather round. Just when you think a story's hit rock bottom, it finds a new, even worse low. Today, our terrible mountain is in Colorado, an anti-Semitic attack, already horrific. But this story takes a wild turn. It's not just about one alleged criminal anymore, the net gets wider, way wider. Suddenly, more people are pulled in, people who weren't even accused of anything. So what happens when the system decides to cast a much wider net? It raises big, uncomfortable questions about fairness and justice. Let's try to unpack this mess. Picture this. Denver, a vibrant city nestled against the backdrop of the majestic Rocky Mountains, usually known for its booming craft beer scene, a place where innovation and tradition blend seamlessly in every pint. And of course, those breathtaking mountains, a constant reminder of the natural beauty that surrounds this urban hub. But recently, a shadow has fallen over the city. Something far uglier has surfaced, shattering the peace and revealing a darkness that lurks beneath the surface. An anti-Semitic attack, a stark reminder of the hate that still exists in our world. It happened in 2025, because apparently some people haven't learned a thing from history's darkest chapters. A synagogue, a place of peace, a sanctuary for prayer and community, targeted with vile symbols and threats, hateful messages scrawled across its walls. The goal? To terrorize an entire community, to instill fear and division within a group of faith. Mission accomplished, for a moment, as the initial shock rippled through the city. Thankfully, police acted fast, responding swiftly to the scene and launching an immediate investigation. They identified a suspect, a man seemingly consumed by hate. Richard Spencer Carlson, 28. He was arrested and charged with a hate crime, a serious offense that carries significant consequences. You'd think, okay, justice is working, the system is doing its job, the community could start to heal, to rebuild and find strength and unity. The alleged perpetrator was caught, seemingly bringing closure to this painful chapter. The system worked? Or so it seemed, but if only stories ended there, with a neat resolution and a sense of justice served. Because this one was just getting started, and the plot was about to thicken in a way no one anticipated. The arrest was Chapter 1, a necessary step towards accountability. Chapter 2, that's where it gets icy, introducing a whole new layer of complexity to the case. Buckle up, because this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. The suspect is apprehended, taken into custody. The gravity of the situation is palpable as the legal process begins to unfold. For the sake of this story, let's call him Kevin. It's a name that will soon be associated with a complex web of legal and ethical questions. Kevin's facing serious charges, but then, a twist emerges. Something unexpected that throws the entire case into a different light. Kevin's family? Detained. Suddenly, the scope of the situation widens, encompassing not just Kevin, but his loved ones as well. And here's where it gets even more complicated. This wasn't the work of local police. It was ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, a federal agency stepping into a local criminal case. Suddenly, this isn't just a hate crime case, it's an immigration drama, a collision of two separate legal worlds. The stakes have been raised. The reason? Kevin's family aren't U.S. citizens. Their immigration status is now under scrutiny. They were here on visas, legally residing in the country, contributing to society, or they, because those visas, their legal standing has been jeopardized, revoked, canceled, the stroke of a pen, and their lives are irrevocably altered, like a streaming service you finally ditched, only with far, far greater consequences. Here's the kicker, the truly unsettling part of this story. There's no public info suggesting Kevin's family had anything to do with his alleged crime. No connection, no involvement, no apparent reason for their detention, no evidence they knew, approved, or even liked Kevin's choices. They could have been completely opposed to his actions. So they're just collateral damage, victims of circumstance, caught in the crossfire of a legal battle, their lives upended because of Kevin. Is this a just application of the law, or an overreach of power? Imagine following the rules, playing by the book, believing in the system, paying taxes, contributing to the community, building a life, and then, because your adult son allegedly did something awful, the rug is pulled out from under you. Your world is gone. Everything you've worked for vanished in an instant. It's a huge leap, a drastic measure with potentially devastating consequences, and it's got people talking, sparking debate, raising questions about fairness and justice. Is this justice a proportionate response to the alleged crime, or just a bureaucratic nightmare? A system gone awry, punishing the innocent along with the guilty, the American dream turned upside down, a promise of opportunity and freedom now tainted by fear and uncertainty, all because of someone else's alleged actions, a family paying the price for the sins of their son. That's the reality, a harsh, unforgiving reality for Kevin's family. When a family's fate hangs in the balance, the question arises, can ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement simply revoke visas for an entire family unit, based on suspicion surrounding just one member? The answer, perhaps surprisingly, is yes, though it involves some intricate legal maneuvering and a specific interpretation of immigration law. The Immigration and Nationality Act, a cornerstone of U.S. immigration law, grants the government remarkably broad powers in these matters, specifically, sections dealing with deportability, the conditions under which someone can be removed from the country, and inadmissibility, the reasons someone can be denied entry in the first place. These sections can be invoked if the very foundation upon which a visa was granted is somehow compromised or called into question. Visa revocation is a profoundly serious matter, carrying significant consequences for those affected, and perhaps more concerning, it can occur swiftly, often without the safeguard of a full court hearing or judicial review. In some instances, such actions are based not on concrete proof of wrongdoing, but rather on suspicion or perceived risk. Perhaps the government suspects that the family, or a member thereof, misrepresented crucial information during the visa application process. Or perhaps they are employing a broad and expansive interpretation of what constitutes a threat to public safety and national security. Yet, in the case of Kevin's family, there is no publicly available evidence to suggest they have engaged in any illegal or harmful activities. So the question lingers. Are they, in effect, being punished by proxy for the alleged actions of another? It's an uncomfortable and troubling question, one that hangs heavy in the Colorado air, demanding answers and raising concerns about fairness and justice. As you can imagine, people have strong opinions. This case, it's split the public. On one side, supporters say, good, tough on crime, the family must have known. They see it as a strong stance, zero tolerance, even for families. On the other side, outrage. They call it collective punishment, guilt by association. They argue it's deeply unfair to punish a whole family for one person's alleged crime. No proof they were involved. It screams injustice to them. And that brings us to the big questions. What does justice look like here? Is it served or undermined? Food for thought, probably very indigestible food.